What does it mean to be a champion?
It means everything. It's about legacy. It's about, what you put onto the table for your family at the end of the day.
To be the best to ever do it.
Waking up every day ready for the job.
Winning it all at all costs.
When you don't win the final game of the season, I don't know if you can speak about it.
Being a champion is all about your mentality, how you show up every day and perform for not only yourself, but for your team.
The absolute best, to be better than everybody else at exactly what you're competing at. It means that you're 5'8", handsome as hell, and you got it done.
Having the privilege to look down on others.
For me, each of the first 2 years in this league, I think it's commendable and, dare I say, champion-esque that I have overcome the odds of not going to Waffle House.
I mean, it's everything. It's what we play for. So, probably the crowning achievement of my life.
When I was 8 years old, I dreamt. And on December 31st, 2023, that dream became a reality.
From the bottom of the barrel to the veterans and even the newcomers, everybody has something to prove.
The big dog's gonna eat.
The revenge tour starts today.
Watch your backs, because I've been playing possum for 2 seasons, and I'm ready to attack.
Welcome to the show.
Where people question my football acumen based on an app, it ends right now.
I'm here. We just all have fun and nobody gets hurt.
I'm coming for them.
Like Taylor Swift once wrote, sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby. And I'm just a monster.
I'm afraid of what I've become, and you should be too.
Think what you want. You didn't doubt me. You're underestimate me. You don't think, oh, it's Max. This might be an easy dub. And you know what?
This is the Fantasy Football Draft.
You heard him, ladies and gentlemen. Today is about legacy. Welcome, everyone, inside Wild Horse Pass Casino at the beautiful Gila River Resort in Chandler, Arizona, for the first ever live PHNX Fantasy Football Draft. A day that we have waited for far too long. We have all of our friends and PHNX family with us here today. Thank you all so much for being here. I am Alexis Perry, alongside a much more familiar face for all of you guys. Petey.
Yeah, familiar when it comes to hockey, and maybe the WNBA, not so much.
Not so much.
At football.
It's okay.
But today, I am bringing all of that knowledge from these other sports to this very exciting draft.
It is going to be an incredible evening. I'm sure we got a couple hours coming up ahead for each and every one of us as we go into this PHNX Fantasy Football Draft. Now, of course, before we delve far too deep into all of this, we have to first get a look at this draft order.
Wow, and this is going to be like they don't know.
They don't know.
Like they don't know. We know.
We know.
They do not know. And this is important. Who is going to get that first pick overall?
I don't know. Let's go ahead and watch the 100-yard dash to see who will be picking first. Cheer for your man.
Wow, Bo out to an early lead. Kyle with
Kyle.
Look at Espo picking it up late. Max coming in.
Toe tree, nice and slow. Oh.
I'm worried about Johnny right now.
Speeding up a little bit.
I'm worried about Johnny. We're always worried about Johnny.
What do we think from
Bo,
Shane?
here comes Bo. A push at the goal line for Bo. Kyle.
Is it Kyle or Bo? Max.
Look at Max. Look at Max.
It's going to be Bo.
Wow, Max in second. The newcomer, Kyle, coming in third.
Fifth, Saul. Johnny, sixth. Toe tree, seventh.
Oh, look at Kevin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, poor
Jesse.
Kevin. Kevin, the newest.
I didn't even know Jesse was here.
Jesse rarely shows up at things.
Jesse, I didn't even know he was here.
No, not in the videos. Not a participant in most things. Came in late to today's actual draft.
Was
lost.
Lost. Couldn't even find the joint. Let's go ahead and break this down for you guys. First overall, we got Bo. Second, Max. Third, Kyle. Fourth, Damon. Fifth, Saul. Sixth, Johnny. Seventh, Totri. Eighth, Jesse. Ninth, Derek. 10th, Shane. 11th, my guy Espo. 12th, Kevin.
The new guy, and I think it's going to be interesting. And when you look at Bo finished first in this league a year ago in the regular season. And I think picking first with his football acumen, I think this is an easy pick. I think I could make this pick, but I'm curious to see if Bo takes this a different direction and tries to overthink it, being the football guy.
I feel like football people tend to overthink things.
Hockey
people don't.
Hockey people do
But just
not.
to remind everyone that this is a snake draft format. You guys know how this works. The order reverses each round, giving the teams that pick last one round in the first pick and the next. So some of the pros and cons. Let's break them down a little bit of picking early versus late. So picking early, obviously, biggest pro.
Yeah, you're going to get the best player. You're going to get the best player in this draft today, the guy that's going to rack up those numbers week after week after week and be the guy that you drive all season long to get you to that championship.
Yes, starting with a solid foundation is incredibly important, but like we all know, there is that long wait between picks, and that adds a lot of pressure. It adds a lot of pressure to not only get the first one right, but the rest of it, right?
Yeah, I think the trouble is in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And I look directly at Johnny right now.
Okay.
And Johnny, to me, picking in that middle spot, he's the guy that knows football, or is supposed to know football more than anybody else in this room. And it has been questionable over the last 2 seasons. Let's call it like we see it in the standings. There's a lot of pressure on Johnny. And unfortunately, in that middle selection, you got to wait a long time for your first pick, and then guess what? You got to wait a long time for your second pick, so you better pick right. A lot of pressure today on Johnny in that 6th spot.
There, of course, are some pros, though, to picking late. Obviously, the back-to-back picks, you get a more balanced roster. I think the biggest cons, of course, you're missing out on the top-tier talent that, I mean, if Bo screws this up, I don't think he will.
I don't think he will
if
either.
He screws it up, I mean, it says a lot about him and his character. Truly. Okay, you guys. Before I introduce you guys to the PHNX fantasy football general managers, I think we should get a glimpse into maybe some of the more dapper and not so dapper ways that they walked into the building here today. So let's take a look. PHNX fantasy football.
But this is Johnny, and again, look at the confidence he
him.
exudes. A handsome man coming in. I just wish his record would reflect that confidence, because it hasn't up to this point.
Finished 10th last year.
Finished 10th.
Worth noting.
A lot of praise. Look at Saul, and I think that's fresh out of the bathroom from his experience at the Waffle House this year. A lot of time spent at the Waffle House, finishing in last, first to worst for Saul Book.
That's tough to do. Here we got Robert.
Big Bo, and again, Big Bo. Bo finished first, but he just couldn't muscle his way through the playoffs. And I think that's the big key today. Can he push not just a regular season guy, be a playoff guy?
Let's see, what is Max's potential this year?
I don't know. He's clearly not counting his winnings, because he did not win. So I'm not sure what he's counting there. Max, we'll see if this football knowledge carries over into football.
Look at that muzzy on Shane. It is as thick as ever.
The Jebediah Beauregard mustache makes its an appearance again for this big fantasy draft.
Finished 8th last year, and of course, we have Kevin.
Kevin looked to clean up at the casino today.
Yes, he did.
I'm not as confident about the new kid. Maybe he gets that beginner's luck, but picking 12th is not a good spot.
I appreciate anybody who stops by the sanitation station, which I know Espo does.
But Espo bringing in the waffles, is that a precursor to the end of the season?
I think karma might get Espo on that one.
We shall see. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend at 5'8" and stunning beauty, Anthony Totri. He came in wearing a number 1 jersey because he wants to finish number 1.
Yes, he does.
Woof, woof. The dog. Damon, his draft strategy to be determined. I don't know. He finished towards the bottom of the standings. We thought he was going to be pouring syrup over those waffles for most of this season. Let's see if he can do better than he did a year ago.
And finally, Kyle Cooper.
And that if you know Kyle, that quiet confidence,
he was quiet most of this.
Quiet.
All pre-draft. Guy was
Known him for
quiet.
6 months, still yet to talk to him.
Oh, Derek.
Derek came in, I don't even know if it's confidence. Like he's beyond confidence.
What's interesting is he's not wearing that now. Is he?
Did he change?
Did he change?
Handsome ad. Derek's here's what with Derek, who did not finish atop the standings in the regular season, and he storms through the playoffs, beats Totri by less than a point.
Less than a point.
Unbelievable amount of pressure on Derek today. He's talking the game.
Mm-hmm.
Can he walk the game?
You know what? They are going to be battling it out week in and week out this season, but there is an even more serious battle going on right now for mayor of PHNX. So now a word from our newest candidate.
Hi, I'm Johnny Venerable of PHNX Sports. 3 years ago, when this bedrock of a company was founded, one Derek Montilla decided to make a mockery of all of our efforts and appoint himself as the self-imposed mayor of this fine company. Was it needed at the time? No. Is it needed now? Absolutely not. What is needed is an adult in the room, a grown-up, somebody that can clean up Derek's mess of full-size office posters and coronations. The rest of us are here to do a job, and to do it at the highest level. Derek, the dog and pony show is over. It's time for the adults to take over. Gregory Esposito.
Well, we've talked about this race at the PHNX as the PHNX mayor, and there's been a lot of questions about the self-appointed mayor, Derek Montilla, and I think that we need to hear from him. I think it's only fair to give the other candidate a voice, and let's see how his response is to Espo.
Espo, he went to the University of Arizona, but do you ever hear him talk about it?
ASU football fired a coach and an AD, and they're 6-18.
He'll bring up ASU, but where is U of A? Derek Montilla supports all PHNX beats, including the Wildcats. But Espo, he won't even acknowledge them. If he can turn his back on his alma mater, he'll turn his back on you. Espo, he's not just radical, he's dangerous.
Ethical Standards and PHNX officials is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I mean, I don't know if I love just a pure attack ad like that.
I don't know. I think that's the direction that campaign has gone.
Like, what is he going to do and continue to do for PHNX?
Did not mention it.
Didn't mention it. We'll never know. We will absolutely never know. Hey, just a reminder, obviously, for everyone that tonight this show is sponsored by CoachStarkHomes. They are our presenting sponsor. Give it up for them, you guys. If you are in the market for a home, if so, get a hold of Coach Stark today, and he will help you out. You guys can get in touch with him at, let's see if I can read this phone number, 623-695-3929, or go to CoachStarkHomes.com. And my personal favorite way to get a hold of him, give him a follow.
Yeah,
give him a follow at Coach Stark Homes.
Because that's, as we know, that's my favorite way to contact people is through their Twitter and Instagram handles.
You know, I can tell that you are a modern man of the digital age, given all the notes that you brought with you. My personal favorite, can you show everyone?
But you need to be prepared.
Yeah, I get it.
If you're going to be older than, well, mid-20s,
okay.
like you have to have a guide.
You guys, this is the Athletics
Yeah.
Fantasy Football Draft Guide, hard copy.
Hard copy.
As you can
and
tell.
there are notes and written, but I tell you what, if the power goes out, you're in trouble.
I'm screwed,
Guess who's going to carry the show?
glued and tattooed if the power
This guy
goes
is
out.
going to carry the show.
But we will figure it out. So the notes are obviously a highlight here, but so has just the anticipation of this event. You know, not only within the PHNX office, within this fan base, but of course worldwide. Really, that is how much anticipation has been around this event here tonight.
I think I could feel the tension as they all prepared for this in the war room. And I think what the fear is, and we've seen it firsthand over the last weekend, is sitting at the Waffle House.
Yes.
And the concern is that you come in last.
Yeah.
And the bragging rights around the office winning is fantastic. We saw Derek Montilla's banner hanging here today at the Wild Horse Pass Casinos in Gila River in Chandler. But the Waffle House is what this is about. And let's take a little trip to the Waffle House.
This is, I'm not sure how I feel more grossed out than anything.
and
I'm sure
I know
Saul felt grossed
it's
out.
24 hours, but you can eliminate those hours by eating waffles.
Yep.
Now, I'm one not to eat as much, and so I think I'd be there for a very long time.
Yeah.
But as we can see, it's only the Waffle House. It's not North Korea, as said by Anthony Totri, and he was right. Saul, yeoman's effort at gobbling down those waffles, and he did not spend the full 24 hours there. But that's where this whole competition is about. It's about not sitting at the Waffle House.
He chose carbs, just carb loading over sitting there. How long was the total time spent?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that.
Saul, can we get the total time spent? Would you say approximately 10 hours? I want to know how many waffles
I
you
do
ate.
too.
And if you're still feeling them. 11 hours. 13 waffles. I feel like 13's kind of weak.
Yeah,
they're clapping for him, but 13.
I don't know. And I know Leah Mayoral would appreciate this. We had some good Canadian maple syrup presented by former Coyote coach Andre Tourney, who makes his own syrup. That might have pushed him over to 14 or 15, but we will never know.
Quickly, just before we get into it,
Yes.
who do you think will be sitting at the Waffle House this time next year?
This is hard, and I don't want to bring Johnny's name up again, so I probably won't.
I think you just did.
No, I'm concerned about the new kid today. I'm worried about Kevin. I think the draft position, I think he's going to have a tough spot, but I still don't think he's the guy there. I'm going into the guy that came in late to everything we've done for this show. The baseball guru who talks about exit velocity versus if it goes over the fence or not, which shouldn't matter. Jesse will finish in last.
Jesse will finish in last. See, I personally believe it's going to be Espo this year sitting at the Waffle House.
Oh, wow!
And it's only because I think he's going to be a little distracted with his campaign. And I think that's going to take priority for him, especially early on here in the season. So I feel like Espo is going to be there, but naturally Jesse, because I don't even think he's here.
Is he here?
I don't think he's here.
Just showed up late. Not in the walk-ins. Didn't make the video.
I mean, he didn't make any of the videos, so he's not even here, is he?
Nope.
Okay, just checking in. Of course, with the draft just moments away, we have to send it over to our amazing commissioner, Saul Bookman, for a few words. Saul.
All right. Are we good? All right. Thank you all for coming to the third annual PHNX Fantasy Football Draft. We'd like to give a shout out once again to CoachStarkHomes and Gila River Casino Resorts and Casinos for all the fantastic service that they're providing today. And before we get started, we do have to acknowledge, I was at the Waffle House, but we got to acknowledge the other side of this. Our champion, Derek Montilla. Who gets a championship ring as well.
Oh, look at that bad boy. Let's go. Oh, that's
Go ahead.
beautiful.
Have a few words.
Oh, I would like to thank Josh Allen for everything he did for this team last year. But more importantly, I would like to thank Anthony Totri for doing just not enough in the championship game to lose than less by that number on his jersey today. This ring is dedicated to you, Totri. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
I do want to remind everybody that I did also win the first ever championship. There we go. My banner also rings true in our home studio, and this one will be there too. Shane almost beat me, but he needed somebody to almost die on the field to beat me, and it still didn't happen. And it still didn't happen.
This is a children's
So, all right. And with that, the draft has begun. Bo is now on the clock.
Well, and you know what? This should be an easy choice.
I don't think this could be much easier. I think this is pretty obvious that we have Christian McCaffrey going first overall. And, maybe Bo will surprise us in some way.
Maybe he's going to overthink it. We talked about the football knowledge of a Bo Brack, and maybe he overthinks it. But you have to go with Christian McCaffrey. He's a guy that he's going to put up those numbers week after week for a team that can still drive the offense behind the quarterback from Arizona.
You know, and what's interesting is 379 projected fantasy points.
That's insane.
For Christian McCaffrey. Naturally, as a Denver native, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of one CMC. Let's see if Bo makes this decision like we expect him to.
Let's go to the podium.
Just wanted to say, not my mayor. Usually keep the stick to sports, but you know, I just thought it was a big moment. Coach Stark, how we doing? Pookie, I love you. With the first pick in the Phoenix Fantasy Sports Draft, we take Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
And there it is.
I hate all of you.
And there it is. Just as we expected, Bo went with Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers, and he is going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Every projection I've seen, every mock draft I've been following, he's the number one guy. I think that was easy. I think that was a slam dunk for Bo. I think the key for Bo is going to be what happens in the later rounds, because now we don't see Bo.
We don't see Bo for a while.
23 more picks. That's a long time.
Exactly. You know, I think with Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers, they have retained really their entire offensive line from last season. So I think he's going to continue to just get better and better. The continuity from playing together should really help. Main concern really for them, Trent Williams, turning 36 years old. He's played his best football in his 30s. And, you know, this could be a declining year for him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Brock Purdy does too, and I think that's going to be another key to what McCaffrey can do. Is he going to get those red zone touches? Are they looking to throw when they get in the red zone? You know, Brock Purdy's not going to run it in, so maybe it is he's getting those touches and getting those touchdowns as they approach the red zone. Are we getting ready for pick number 2 already?
I think we are here with pick number 2.
Wow, and here's
All right, everyone. Appreciate everyone coming out. Shout out Coach Stark. Shout out CoachStarkHomes, presenting partner. I'm going to be building my foundation. You want to build your own foundation, go to CoachStarkHomes, check him out. And with the second pick in the PHNX draft, Sack Lunch selects CeeDee Lamb.
Interesting. CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I think, you know what, you're going to see, I do like this pick, and I like it early for Max, and what you're going to see, I think this is a very wide receiver heavy draft, and I think you're going to see a lot of wide receivers here over the next 5 or 6 picks, and I think CeeDee Lamb, he is going to get those touches. Can Prescott get him the ball in Dallas? That's the big concern, because Dak Prescott, down season last year, but you got to look at those points that he has been able to put up for the Dallas Cowboys. I like this pick at number 2. I think we're going to see a lot of wide receivers here over the next few picks. I think CeeDee Lamb was the next obvious choice as the wide receiver to go next in this draft.
So you like wide receiver at 2 overall instead of another running back?
I do, and I think you're going to see wide receivers probably throughout this top 10.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see 4 or 5 more wide receivers coming up. I do think this is a top heavy for wide receivers this season.
You know, CeeDee Lamb also wide receiver 1, both in total points per game last year. So really, anyone who can put up numbers like CeeDee Lamb, I mean, that is going to be an incredible pick that really doesn't shock anyone. It's just, you know, whether you want to go wide receiver, running back first.
Yep.
So let's go ahead, and it looks like we have pick number 3 and ready to go.
Yep, here comes Kyle.
The Alaska Bullworms select Tyreek Hill.
And just like we were talking about, it's another wide receiver. It's the guy who is second on most projections as the second wide receiver in this draft for the Miami Dolphins. I think Tyreek Hill, when you look at his touches coming from Kansas City to Miami, I think it took him a while to adjust to that offense down in Miami.
It did.
But I do think this year, gosh, he's going to touch the ball a lot for that Miami Dolphin offense.
My only concern with him is really his age. He's 30 years old. He's past his prime a little bit, especially when there's just younger, peppier wide receivers who I think, and there actually is one here with the Arizona Cardinals that I think would be potentially a better choice.
Oh,
I don't know
we're going to
about
see if that
better.
young guy, we're going to see if
I don't
that
know
young
about
rookie gets picked in this as well.
You think in the first round?
I don't. I don't think he's a first-round pick. But we'll see. The other issue with Miami is they spread the ball around a lot. So we'll see if Tyreek Hill can get the touches, 80% of the touches a year ago.
Okay, looks like we have our fourth pick. He went Justin Jefferson.
The dog went Justin Jefferson for his pick, and next on the clock is Saul with his pick. It went Justin Jefferson, another wide receiver. We're seeing that wide receivers at 2, 3, and 4 now, and Saul is ready to go.
St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's my projection.
All right. With the 5th overall pick in the first round, the Marvelous Marvins select Bijan Robinson.
So,
You called it.
RB2. He actually breaks up the flood of wide receivers that were coming our way right off the top.
Yeah, and he went with the second. Bijan Robinson is the second running back to go in this draft. And now does this start a flood of running backs? I'm curious because we saw the run on wide receivers after the pick at number 2 by Max. Now will we see, and here it is, this is the most anticipated pick of the first round.
Welcome, everyone. And everyone's going to have to listen. 90 seconds. Make one thing clear. I thought this group was filled with my friends. Unfortunately, you can't trust anybody in this.
I'm almost glad you guys can't all hear this.
6th pick in the 2024 Fantasy Football. Daddy Fantasy selects Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. It's a great pick. It really is a great pick. Just a reminder to all of our GMs, when you get up and hold the mic, let's hold it right in the middle.
Yeah, not
at
to the bottom
You
where
can't
the
do
receivers.
bottom.
I know, it's the Wi-Fi thing.
You know, it is the Wi-Fi thing. There's something going on with that.
Jamar Chase, he, again, we're going back to that wide receiver position, and with Cincinnati and the Bengals, we'll see. We'll see, because Joe Burrow, the pocket passer, not a guy's going to run the ball a lot. He's going to get the ball to Jamar Chase. He's a guy that's going to get those kind of numbers. So, yeah, I think that's a good pick. And again, I go back to the wide receivers being wide receiver heavy. I think Jamar Chase is the pick for Johnny Venerable. Is this the year he can get himself back on the top of the standing?
Projected over 313 fantasy football points this season.
Here we are.
He's been really excellent at almost everything that he's ever done.
And
so
let's go.
Jamar
The
Chase.
man who's talked a good game, can he follow through at the draft?
Dicker the kicker selects Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There it is. There it is.
Another wide receiver. And this week, we're going to go to the Detroit Lions and St. Brown. And I tell you what, this team, this is going to be a good football team. This team's going to put up numbers. The team's going to score points. This team's going to be in the red zone, and they're going to be looking for St. Brown. I like the pick, Anthony Chotri, in the first round. Heavy wide receiver.
Safe pick.
All right, here we go.
Oh, he is here.
I am here. I do, in fact, exist.
Very good.
With the 8th pick in the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft, Waffle House Wagon selects Breece Hall.
Right, we're back to the running backs. Breece Hall, again, third ranking running back in this draft. Another guy's going to go in the first round. Like he's a guy that we knew and anticipated to be in the first round. So I think it's a pretty safe pick. We'll see again.
With Aaron Rodgers, though, he will be featured in hopefully more than 4 snaps this year. So we will see how they use a guy like Breece Hall. We know Aaron Rodgers. We know he's a classic pocket passer. He likes to air it out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if you got to look at this offense from the New York Jets. They struggled a year ago. Can they be better this season?
Nate Hackett doesn't help that.
Here he is. This is another pick, the champion.
With the 9th pick in the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft, Endzone Amore selects A.J. Brown. How you doing?
How you doing? A.J. Brown, obviously, the Eagles. What are we expecting
Yeah,
from the
you know,
Eagles
the
this year? just
Eagles
as a whole?
sputtered offensively last year.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts to be able to get that ball and distribute that ball around the field that he wasn't able to do a year ago. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. I think this team is going to score more points than they did a year ago. I like this pick with Brown here in this spot. I do think he's going to get a lot of touches, but you got to watch to see if he spreads that ball around the field, just like we said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, Kellen Moore's offensive scheme is going to play the biggest factor, I think, for our guy A.J. Brown this upcoming season. But we know he'll have a big year. He does every year. Average draft pick for this guy right now is wide receiver 6.
Wide receiver, and again, wide receiver heavy. And this is curious to see what head of production Shane does in this spot. This is a big spot for Shane. Shane's a little confused. He looks a little befuddled, as it were, stepping up to the podium as he is on the clock.
I feel like our pacing was fast, and then all of a sudden,
Did that pick by Derek throw him off?
I think it
Was
must
he?
have.
Did he have Brown ready to go, locked and loaded, as it were, as he approached the podium? Let's find out. Let's turn it over to the podium with Shane.
Johnny, with the 10th pick and the 2024 fantasy draft, Jebediah Beauregard as the Cosmonauts select Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
Wow. Do you remember what I just said?
Wow.
That is what I
Wow.
like to see.
And
that is what I like to see.
This draft has just been turned on its head in the first round by Jebediah Beauregard going with the hometown kid. Again, is it heart over head? Time will tell. That is a huge pick by Shane. That's a gutsy pick, the hometown kid.
What's interesting is obviously we know last year was more run heavy, a lot of passes to tight ends. But this year, when you have a talent like this, you can't help but take advantage
But
of it.
how many passes did he catch in the preseason from Kyler Murray? Oh, that's right, none, because Kyler Murray did not play. So we'll see how long it takes to get this duo up to speed.
And we know chemistry is important, but we have Espo coming up with the 12th pick. Excuse me, 11th.
With the next pick in the PHNX Fantasy Draft, hold this line and your future Mayor Espo. Select Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets.
Again, we're back to the wide receiver. And again, that's the second Jet gone in the first 11 picks. Again, can Aaron Rodgers last more than 4 snaps this season? If he does not, it's a horrible pick. If he does, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like he has a high floor.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. And I do think Aaron Rodgers will. God, am I going to jinx it?
Yeah, let's
I
go
can't
ahead and
say
jinx
it.
Go ahead
No,
and
I
jinx
can't. I can't say it. I
Go
can't.
ahead
I
and
think
jinx
I think he's going to stay pretty healthy this year. Oh boy, is there? I don't even know if I want to knock on wood. Do I want to knock on wood?
No.
It's okay.
I think this is so I like the pick by Esco. We'll see though. I'm not sure. The Jets, people are relying on the Jets to put up numbers and have an offensive outburst this season. We'll see. This is a big pick coming up. This kid, and I'm going to call him a kid because everybody
Child.
here is a kid.
Yep.
Kevin.
In comparison to you.
Yes, exactly. The new guy on the block, Kevin, has worked there just a short time. And probably won't work there long because he's the hockey producer. And everyone works our show, they leave. We're like a jinx.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, Kevin. Beginner's luck, we shall see. Kevin, you are on the clock.
All right, look, I didn't think I'd be in the position right now that I'm in of picking last in the first round. But Kev's crew would love to welcome Jahmyr Gibbs to the squad with the 12th pick of the first round.
Again, we're going to go to the Detroit Lions. Again, it's a team that's going to be very good this season. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC Central, and I like this pick if they keep the ball on the ground. And Kevin, I think what Kevin just realized is how a snake draft works.
Yeah. He stays up there.
Yeah, he was not prepared
He
for
needed to know both.
12 and 13.
Gibbs finished 8th in PPR points last season, just so you guys know. Hard for him to reach the Chris McCaffrey level, though. Let's go back to you, my friend.
All right, with the next pick in this wonderful draft, I guess I got to take Puka Nacua.
Do you have to?
Wow. I don't know if the confidence exuded there.
I don't
The Rams coming in. Again, we talk about the wide receivers, and he was next up in the wide receiver list. Everybody else above him has been taken. Nacua, interesting pick right now. I don't know, but he went with the running back. You got to go You got to go wide receiver in this spot. I think it was the right, safe choice. So he's got the 12 and 13 picks. I don't mind those. We're back to Espo.
I'm just going to make this short. I'm taking Jonathan Taylor. Welcome to the squad.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Indy. It's these running backs. I think we're going to see a run on running backs right now. We saw the wide receivers early in the draft. I think we're going to see those running backs go now. I wonder about the Indianapolis offense. So that they're a team that's going to throw the ball a lot, and can they get the touches from the backfield that they're going to need to put up the points for Espo? We shall see.
What worries me is for Jonathan Taylor, everything really for that offense needs to be running perfectly for him to have a big game. So, not really sure if he's going to have the year that I think Espo's hoping for. But then again, Espo's just compiling this roster already that's just walking him to the Waffle House. It's crazy.
Wow, he's getting hungry. But speaking of hungry, Shane off the board in his first pick. Shane is back at the podium.
By that, speaking of hungry, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not even going to do an intro or anything. There's no... I got... Thanks, Saquon.
Oh.
Saquon Barkley.
Was that the final decision?
Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles. Again, we talked about an offense that has so many options for that wide receiver position. They've got to spread the ball around the field, and that's a concern of going with an Eagles guy so quickly. Let's go to last year's champion. Derek is ready at the mic.
With the 4th pick in the 2nd round, Enzo Amore takes Kyren Williams.
The Rams, we're going to running back. We had to see those running backs, the rush on the running backs.
The rush on the running backs.
See what I did
there?
there?
Did you try to do that?
No, I'm making this up.
As you go, literally.
I'm making this up. But we do, I think this is time we're going to see more running backs. I'm curious to see, though, because I have little fantasy experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I always went early quarterback, and I know you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
So I'm waiting to see who dips their toe in the quarterback water first.
If you were up there drafting a quarterback right now, who would you go with?
Well, see, it's hard because you have to go with the dual threat in Allen, but all Mahomes does is win. So I would go down a little bit, and I'm going Patrick Mahomes for my first quarterback. Let's see what the man, the myth, the legend, Jesse, is at the mic.
All right, with the 5th pick in the 2nd round, Waffle House Wagon selects Davante Adams.
Okay.
Davante Adams, Las Vegas. Again, we're hitting the running back position.
I don't like anything that Vegas is doing.
No.
I really don't. And I never have.
Yeah.
I actually never have. So I don't love the choice. But then again, please keep in mind where I come from, and I am wholeheartedly biased.
Yeah, I understand.
Towards that team.
I understand that, Las Vegas. And Davante Adams. Who's on the clock now? Oh, here is Totri.
Dicker the kicker selects Travis Etienne.
Jacksonville. Running back Jacksonville, deeper down. He picked him maybe a shade early. I think Etienne's... This offense is going to be very pass heavy. I don't know what you look at Lawrence as the quarterback, they're going to throw the ball. This team's going to go deep. They're going to throw the ball a lot. Going a running back from Jacksonville at this spot in the draft, I think he could have been there later when Totri picks again, but we'll see.
I think he would have been there much later. I think the Jacksonville offensive line hasn't been improved enough for him to have a big enough season that warrants a pick this early.
So we'll call it early. And here's Johnny.
Evening. So roughly 80 seconds left on my pick. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Promise I won't pick up the mic. What I will say is this. This is the first time in some time where I feel like not only is my team poised to win the league, it's poised to embarrass everybody here. So I'm going to tell you right now, this next pick exemplifies that. The first quarterback is off the board. 2nd round, Daddy Fantasy selects Josh Allen. Suck it.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Wow. Wow. That is an early pick. A quarterback going in the 2nd round stunner from Johnny Venerable.
But it's Josh Allen.
But it is Josh Allen.
I mean, what a safe pick for him. I actually like where he took Josh Allen here in the draft. I don't hate it. Let's see what his team. Jamar Chase, Josh Allen. Yeah, he's putting something together. Daddy Fantasy.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's a guy that's got dual threat. He's going to get a lot of those touches inside the red zone. He's a guy that can put it in the air and on the ground. First in fantasy points among quarterbacks 3 of the last 4 seasons, and in the 4th, he was second. Josh Allen, great pick by Johnny, just maybe a touch early.
Special. He's a special player. I don't know. Where do you think Josh Allen should have gone?
Well, I was looking for quarterbacks in the 3rd round.
Okay. Fair enough. I like him exactly where he
Here's
is. Who's
Saul.
next? Saul.
All right, with the next pick in the draft, the Marvelous Marvins select Drake London from Atlanta.
Wide receiver from Atlanta, Drake London. As we all scramble way down on our list.
I wish Saul would stay up there and tell us why.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done any player interviews yet.
I know, we haven't.
Yeah, this one's interesting.
Kind of I think, middle of the pack kind of guy. I was thinking if he was going to go.
And they've
maybe
added a new
6th.
offensive coordinator in Atlanta.
Yep.
Can they get up to speed and up to rhythm with that new offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, right away to start this season? We shall see.
Could hardly even find him on this list.
I know. We had to
See
go
how
deep.
far I had to scroll?
I know. I had to scroll. I go,
Jeez.
who?
Jeez Louise.
Damon Dog.
Pick in the 2nd round, Damon's Dogs will select Isaiah Pacheco.
And I like Pacheco. Pacheco's a key guy from Kansas City. I tell you what, when you think of that as a passing team, but I tell you what, they struggled to get the ball through the air in the second half of the season, and Pacheco carried this team to a Super Bowl. I like this pick a lot. He's going to get touchdowns. He's going to get the ball inside the red zone, even with the tricky Patrick Mahomes at quarterback for Kansas City. I think Pacheco, a sleeper pick. I really like this pick for Damon Dog.
Yeah, Jerick McKinnon not back with the Chiefs this year. So I think Isaiah Pacheco, he's going to get most, if not all, the touches.
Yeah.
I think for
he's
them.
going to get the ball a
So
lot.
he's going to get the ball, and we know that Patrick Mahomes is a special player himself. He loves to
And with
keep the ball as well.
an aging Kelsey,
I like it. I like this.
Yeah, I do too. I think you're going to see that tight end, his most favorite target for Patrick Mahomes. By the second half, he's going to be not getting as many touches. They're going to try to rest him for the playoffs. So I think this is a good pick.
You think the Taylor Swift effect will?
I do.
Will really
I do. That
set
was
in
enough.
about midseason.
Yep, I do. Here goes Kyle.
All right, with the 10th pick in the 2nd round, the Alaska Bullworms select Nico Collins.
Okay. Texans wide receiver Nico Collins officially off the board.
He's a Texans fan.
See again, from the war room we get the message that he is from Texas, and again this might be where you go heart over head, and when we go to the draft rankings and where he is at, this is a reach. This is a reach in that spot. I think it's again your hometown team. It's a team you like. I'm picking Vikings all day long. That's what Kyle did. Let's go to the podium with Max.
With the 11th pick in the 2nd round, Sack Lunch selects Derrick Henry.
Wow.
I'm actually
The big move.
surprised it took that long for Derrick Henry to get off the board.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's moving to Baltimore this year in a new team. We'll see if he can pick it up with a new team and get those touches that we're familiar with. Here we go.
We're going to take Jalen Waddle, Miami Dolphins.
I'm not
Another
sure if
wide receiver.
I'm not sure if I love the reaction from the war room on that.
Yeah.
It was a little quiet.
They can sleep on my team.
Yeah.
They can sleep on my team.
But it's funny, and I go a lot with the Diefenbach, Shane Diefenbach, and he said it's a good pick. I'm not going to question it,
Yeah.
although he did not win the league last year, so take his opinion as you would.
Go Bo.
We're going to, you know what? I'm not going to do that. That's a terrible pick.
a veteran move. It's like when you're putting and you just realize that your stance is a little off. You just need to back away from the ball. You know, that's exactly what he just did.
We're going to take DJ Moore, Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Another wide receiver for Bo. He's stocking up the wide receiver position with Chicago Bears. Again, I aforementioned, I am from Minnesota. If those may know, I'm a Viking fan, not a big Bears fan.
Yeah, I get that. Are you surprised DJ Moore maybe went a little early?
Yeah, I do. I think this is, again, but Bo's strategy is to try to outsmart the opponent, and I think this is one of those picks for Bo. I think this is one that I expected to see later in the draft. I think it's a little early reach for the Chicago Bears receiver DJ Moore, but you know what? He knows more football than I do.
There's a lot of competition in that room there in Chicago, so I'm concerned for him in that regard, but let's go ahead and go to our next pick.
With the second pick in the third round, Sack Lunch selects Brandon Ayuk. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Right. Now, this is the guy that was going to go earlier in the draft from San Francisco, another wide receiver. Expected him to go much earlier in the draft. So I think that's a big, I hate to say it, I think it's a good pickup for Max in this third round for Max.
Yeah,
I like the pick.
I think that was an absolute steal for Max. I'm shocked that he was still on the board. But yeah, all in all, his team's kind of coming together. What do you got?
Yeah.
Robinson, Henry, Ayuk for him. I like that team a lot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Max concerns me. Unless he's standing in the spot at PHNX, things don't always go well for Max.
Yes. Who do we have next? Who's on the clock? With Coop. Looks like he's made his decision. He's walking to the podium.
Got that quiet confidence. God, this
I
is the
know.
most I've heard him talk since he's
Everybody
been a member of the staff.
All right. With the third pick in the third round, the Alaska Bullworms select Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs
The
from
Packers.
the Green Bay Packers. Again, it's a
Former
team that's-
Raider.
Yeah, he's going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, he's a bowling ball.
Yeah.
He is. There is also some competition in that room, I think, for him. But all in all, I think the departure of Aaron Jones, it leaves them really without a third guy there in Green Bay. And he's more than likely going to take on the role. I guess I'm just surprised that he's taking him so early here in the third round. Because I think he'd still be available later.
Yeah, I do too. And that's one of the things you have to look at as a draft strategy. If you like a guy a lot, but you think he's going to be available later in the draft, I think it's one of those things you have to go for the better player earlier. And those players are going to be there later down the line. I think you can hold out and wait for that player.
Yeah, BPA, best player available, correct?
The dog.
Damon's Dogs. It's a long walk,
It is a long walk.
you know? Go ahead with the next pick.
With the fourth pick in the third round, I wanted to take Travis Kelce, but I just picked a Kansas City Chief, so it swayed me away.
Okay.
So now I will be going with Chris Olave.
Chris Olave of the Saints.
That's an interesting pick. If he's going up there thinking Kelce and he goes from the tight end position and jumps over to a wide receiver again.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes you got to go with your gut instinct and go with your first pick.
I actually think I think he's an underrated player. I think also, though, he probably could have gotten him later. Saul, take it away with the next pick.
With the fifth pick in the third round, the Marvelous Marvin select Devon Achane from Miami.
Okay. Interesting strategy, I think.
Again, another late pick. There's guys on the board right now that I think are above that spot for Devon Achane for the Miami Dolphins.
What is Saul's strategy right now?
I think it's try to avoid the Waffle House.
That would be my strategy.
Yeah, I think they're safe
after
picks.
eating-
I think.
What was that? There was an error.
And Max accidentally picked Bijan Robinson instead of CD Lamb.
Oh.
We're going to swap at the end.
Okay, so
Okay.
Robinson and Lamb on this board should be swapped.
Uh-oh.
That's true, because that also was kind of a
Well, I you know what? Saul's being safe in that's you're going to put up the points there. I think Saul is just trying to avoid the Waffle House. I'm not sure if his strategy right now is to win and carry home the trophy, or if it's just to avoid the Waffle House.
I feel like he's going to end middle of the pack this year. You know, you go from first to worst, and then maybe
Speaking
sixth.
of middle of the pack, it's time for Johnny.
Continuing on, forming the best team in this league here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. Welcome, friends. Phenomenal service, phenomenal food, phenomenal vibes. With the sixth pick in the 2024 Fantasy Football Draft for PHNX Sports, Daddy Fantasy selects Deebo Samuel.
There he is.
Yeah, another receiver from the San Francisco 49ers. Another one. And again, you're talking about ball distribution.
Elite Z wide receiver there for the 49ers. He's a guy, he's arguably the best who can consistently play that position. And I love Deebo. Anybody who takes Deebo is a friend of mine, that's for sure.
Who's up next to the podium in the slow walk?
Very slow.
I know.
I love the way that this board has fallen. Digger the Kicker selects Mr. 1,000 yards every single season, Mr. Mike Evans.
Mr. Mike Evans off the board.
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. I think he's going to have another huge year.
Yeah,
Looking for a record-breaking.
You know what? Totri came into this with this kind of confidence, and it's a guy that I thought was going to go earlier in this draft that was still on the board, still available. I think it's a big pick by Totri.
Do you think this is the year that he gets the 11th straight 1,000-yard receiving season?
I do. I do. I think this is another big year for Tampa Bay.
It would match Jerry Rice's record.
Wow.
That
That's
says a
impressive.
lot. I know.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that is Mike Evans for you.
Consistency, the master of consistency, and Totri trying to get over this season, that less than 1 point loss from a season ago. Now it's Jesse. Is Jesse still here?
No, I think he left.
Okay.
Jesse brings his laptop with him, which I love.
He is our stats guy. Did you know
He
he was a
looks
math teacher?
astute.
Math teacher
Astute.
by trade.
All right, with the 8th pick in the 3rd round, Waffle House Wagon selects Rashad White.
That's a Sun Devil, baby!
Sun Devils in the house. Sun Devils.
Another
in
Buccaneer going over the last few picks. We're seeing the Buccaneers and running back for Buccaneers. Jesse, I'm not loving the pick.
You know, Jesse, he finished in 8th place. Wait, hold on.
You looking up the
I
standings
think
for
last
Jesse?
year, so he missed the playoffs, finished in 11th place last year. Interesting strategy so far from him.
Yeah, I know.
9th pick in the 3rd round of the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft.
What a booming voice.
Enzo Amore takes Travis Kelce.
Whoa, there it was.
There it was.
There we were waiting for tight end 1 to come off the board with the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes' favorite target, as well as Taylor Swift's favorite target also.
T-Swift, baby.
T-Swift.
Do you like Kelce over Laporta?
I worry about Kelsey's age. That's the only thing. I know they're going to target him a lot early.
Yeah.
I worry about his ability to stay injury-free, and I do think later in the season he will get some rest.
My first 2 picks have been disgusting, and I apologize for that, but
yes,
I'm building a winning roster, and the next step in the winning roster is taking the tight end 1, not blank space, baby. We're taking Sam Laporta.
There it is.
Sam Laporta.
See?
Iowa Hawkeye Sam Laporta, a team that doesn't score or throw the ball. The Iowa Hawkeyes, Sam Laporta. The Detroit Lions. But I think the Lions, I said it before, I think a Lions pick is a safe pick. I really do.
I do too. I love the Lions this year, and I'm sure Espo loves.
I do like Laporta, the Iowan.
Look, Coach Stark, I want to give you a big shout out because none of this is possible without you tonight.
That's
So give him a round of applause, people. All right. As your future mayor, I want to thank each and every one of you for being out here. No fraud. I don't dress like I just sold used cars to somebody. I dress like a real person. And with that in mind, I'm going to take the only quarterback worth taking, Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. Wow. Well, I said if I had to take a quarterback, it's Patrick Mahomes. I like the dual threat. I like his ability to run. The only problem I have with Patrick Mahomes is when we talk about touchdowns close to the goal line, is he giving it to Pacheco? And now we're not getting the running yards and we're not getting the passing yards. Are they going to go back to the running game that we saw in the second half of last year? Or is he going to return to the Patrick Mahomes we saw 2 years ago where he distributes the ball around the field?
I think they're going to run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what I feel like. I think we're going to see second half Chiefs roll over into this first half of the season. Go ahead, newbie.
All right, with the next pick in this draft, Kev's crew selects Michael Pittman.
Quiet.
Yeah, very quiet,
Quiet.
In the gallery with Michael Pittman from Indy, another wide receiver.
Yep. Yeah. Kevin gets another pick
Kevin,
here.
he's ready.
All right, and now with the next pick in this draft, give me Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, now I like that pick. I think Dalton Kincaid, tight end, I do like this pick. It's a little bit of a reach. It's a little bit of reach with Buffalo, but I do like the pick.
I actually love this pick.
Shonda Paz is going to love this pick for the Buffalo Bills.
For the Bills, I love Kincaid and Josh Allen together. I think this is going to be a big year for these guys.
Concerned, two receiving touchdowns a year ago.
Yeah.
Will he be a bigger part of the offense this season? And I do believe he will.
I believe so as well. Espo is
Back on the clock.
at the podium.
The champ is here, that's right, and he's selecting Cooper Kupp.
That was a great pick 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not so sure now. The Super Bowl champion Rams of a couple of years ago.
he's aging.
Yeah, aging.
Espo's pick.
Yeah, it was a good pick a couple years ago. And here's Shane Diefenlock ready to go.
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Again, we're going back to the receiver position again. Stephon Diggs, and
I would just never take Stephon Diggs. He just wouldn't be on my team.
no, I don't mind him. He wore the purple for a while, so I'm kind of a Diggs guy.
Yeah,
in the Vikings, so I don't have a problem with Stephon Diggs.
There's a hometown.
Fourth round, Enzo Amore selects Lamar Jackson.
Well, we were waiting for another dual threat quarterback to go off the boards, and now it has. So the champion last year now has his starting quarterback for the season.
Are you surprised to see Lamar Jackson off the board before Jalen Hurts?
I am. I think Jalen Hurts right now, with the offensive threats that they have in Philadelphia, I think he was the next most obvious choice. Yeah. I think Lamar Jackson, again, he's in that second tier of quarterbacks. I don't have him in my top tier elite quarterbacks. He's in my second tier. And good pick.
Great pick. But
very good. Athletic, runs the ball, a dual threat.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure of the offensive weapons in Baltimore versus what Jalen Hurts has in Philadelphia.
I had Jalen Hurts pretty much 20 players above Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I do too.
So, interesting. Jess?
With the fifth pick in the fourth round, Waffle House Wagon selects Jalen Hurts.
There it is. See?
There it is. Only a pick
I like
apart.
I like that pick.
I do too.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think the talent that was just added to Jesse's team is a game changer for him.
And I think Jalen Hurts, and you look at the Philadelphia Eagles a year ago, that's the team that sputtered. I don't think they performed as well as they did on the offensive side of the ball. I think he's got a lot to prove this season.
And he will.
I
think
agree
he
with
will.
you. I agree with you, Alex. I think this is a huge season for Jalen Hurts. I like that pick for Jesse, and it's the first one I've liked that he's made all day.
Yes.
Anthony Totri to the podium.
Dicker the kicker selects C.J. Stroud.
See, and this is what we thought was going to happen. You start to get that run on quarterbacks, and people get nervous, and you got to take your quarterback now. And you're looking at right now, we're into the second-tier quarterback. C.J. Stroud, another good pick, but I think you're going to see a run on quarterbacks now. You got to get your quarterback now while you can.
Who are you taking now at this point?
I'm going Anthony Richardson. I think he's another dual threat quarterback. I like that pick with Anthony Richardson next from Indianapolis.
Come up here, make an honorary pick here. Coach Starks, come up here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. Now, this is impromptu.
Is it going to be Kyler?
Here's what we want. What round are we in?
It has to be Kyler.
With the fourth pick. Yeah. With the fourth pick, fourth round, sixth pick, Daddy Fantasy selects
Arizona Cardinals tight end Trey McBride.
Okay. I thought Kyler would go.
I did too.
Before.
And I did think with Johnny making the pick, I did think he was going to surprise us with the Kyler Murray pick. I don't mind McBride here. And I think if Kyler Murray can distribute the ball like we think he can, and he can become that QB1, can sling the ball around the field, I think Trey McBride is going to be one of his top targets. 3 touchdowns a season ago. Only looks to add to that this year.
All right, with the next pick, first of all, I just want to commend Alexis and PD for their commentary, even though PD doesn't know anything that's good about sports because he had to follow the Coyotes for like 30 years.
Wow.
Probably the reason why they're gone.
Wow.
Yes, that's my co-host.
My pick is Anthony Richardson.
See, that's what I really like this pick. I think he's that top tier quarterback. And I know the war room is up in arms right now. I like Anthony Richardson. I think he is in that top tier. I think he's a dual threat quarterback. I like this pick by Saul, and that's not just pandering to my boss.
I feel like
Maybe
it
a
might
little.
be.
Maybe a
little bit.
Maybe a little.
I got up here early because I was so confident in this pick. Thank you. Shout out Saul for that one. I'm taking James Cook.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, we're both scanning our list, and how far down is that on like page 3?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to Command F.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, it's way deep in the list. But Damon Dog, we'll see. He's a guy that gave up just as many points as he did score a season ago. So I guess I won't doubt him as he's trying to avoid the Waffle House. That pick is way late with James Cook from the Buffalo Bills.
Top 12 guy last year, so. We'll see.
Kyle.
We'll see.
Totri took my quarterback, so I'm going to select Kyler Murray.
Wow. See, we talked about him going to his hometown and talking about his Texas connection, and he went for we were concerned. Thought for a second there Kyle was under arrest, but luckily he is not. The Kyler Murray pick. Here's my problem with Kyler Murray. And I had a long talk with Johnny about this. I am concerned that he did not take snaps in the preseason. I know they had those practices, those elevated practices. But if he's not up and running by week 2 or week 3 and he's lighting it up, then I'm going to question the choice of not playing him in the preseason.
Yeah, green days are great, but you can't replicate
in-game snaps.
With the 11th pick in the 4th round, Sack Lunch will be mixing it up with Joe. Joe Mixon. There you go.
Yeah, this is another guy, when you look at the running backs coming out of Houston, Joe Mixon's a guy that you're just not sure about. And this is why I think he went later than anticipated. People are unsure what his ability is going to be this season. So I thought he was going to go earlier in this draft, but he's a good pick for
Yeah,
Max.
he's consistently a top 12 guy, so I like where he was picked.
It's been nice following Max this whole draft, just leaving so much to eat left on the bone. We're going to go with Kenneth Walker, Seattle Seahawks running back.
Okay.
And we're going to fill out our tight end position. A little bit of a conundrum here, a little debate. Anybody want to make this pick for me? CWP, you want to make this pick? Get up here.
CWP.
Charles Woodell Pike.
Original gangsta of the diehards at PHNX.
So I'm looking at those two. Who do you like? All right. CWP, you want to make the announcement?
Kittle.
Oh, George Kittle, San Francisco. It's funny. We talk about another aging guy. I like Kittle. I do think it may be a shade early for Kittle. I'm not sure again, it's ball distribution by Brock Purdy. He's got so many options in San Francisco. I think Kittle, again, you look at the points he puts up week after week after week after week. Interesting pick by Bo, and he passed it off to CWP.
Which was amazing.
Amazing.
I'm more concerned about the Walker pick for him. Obviously, Walker, he's a guy, he ran for at least 97 yards in 6 games in 11 starts last year, but he finished with 51 or fewer. I don't know if he has the point production
to
ability.
get that early.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I know Bo studies. That's what he tells me anyway. So we'll see, because those numbers don't evaluate into fantasy success.
He's a good runner, but man, he's small. Tiny guy. Speaking of tiny guys.
There you go.
Coach.
Oh.
With the second pick in the 5th round, Sack Lunch demands all your flowers, because I'm picking Zay Flowers. Let's go.
Wow. I think he's got to make a joke every time up to the podium.
Wasn't Totri.
Zay Flowers, Baltimore, another wide receiver for Max. Max going heavy wide receivers for Max. His last few picks.
I wish this light wasn't
I know, so you could
directly in
see.
the way. I can't even see. I thought it was. I had 2 options of my small guys.
I know you did, and there was actually a few more, but
there's a couple.
That's okay. Kyle.
Oh, thank you.
Look
look at you, service. You're the best.
Eric producing the show. Fantastic
Eric
job
with a
producing
K.
a big hand for
Eric with a K is A-OK.
As Kyle struts up with that quiet confidence. Can he do it?
With the 3rd pick in the 5th round, Kyle selects Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. All right.
They're very excited about
tight
that
end
pick.
5 here out of Atlanta. Do you like it? He has new coaches, new quarterback. Could lead to something.
Yeah.
Something could happen here, right?
Yeah. We'll see. I'm not excited about it. Not excited about the pick.
Nothing excites you.
No, that's fair. Damon.
Mark Andrews.
What?
What did he just say? Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Another
Andrews. He's
tight
part
end.
of the reason my team was as bad as it was last year, because he had a bad injury. But we're going to trust him this year.
I like going back to a guy who did nothing for you.
Yeah.
You know, this is the classic. Always look for people who do the right thing when they can't do anything.
Again, it's familiarity.
What did I
Like,
just
you
say?
think you know the guy, and he becomes part of your week in and week out, your thought process. So he went back to the well. Even after a horrible season a year ago, he went back to the well. So I got to give Damon Dog credit there.
I commend him for that decision.
Yeah, I guess. Hungry.
I guess.
Here we go, Saul. Saul is getting rep. Here we go, Saul's ready to go.
Soul.
With the next pick, I'm taking James
Yes, you are.
And I think this is going to be a good pick. And we'll try to figure out why I like this pick.
Why?
No, I think he's going to get a lot of touches. And it's surprising this offense. Can he help drive this offense? I think he's a sleeper. I don't think many people had him, this Arizona Cardinal running back. And I think playing for Arizona, he doesn't get that national recognition. I like this pick for Saul. I think this is a good pick, and I think he's going to surprise some people.
Yeah, I don't know if Benson's going to play much of a role in his carries this year. So, okay, go ahead.
This is dedicated to my 9-year-old son, Hudson, who's watching at home. Don't, how dare you, boo my...
We got a family boo. That's
Booing
bad.
my son? This is a family show, damn it. With the 6th pick, Daddy Fantasy selects running back Alvin Kamara.
Yes, the Saints running back.
Yeah,
Safe.
Safe, yeah.
Safe.
Another safe pick by Johnny. And I think
He's a father. He's a father. Dads always make
Safe.
the right
But
safe
does
decision.
safe build championships?
I would argue they don't. You have to take a risk every now and again.
Dicker the Kicker selects Aaron Jones.
Everybody just said, what?
I think there was a stunned silence over the entire crowd at Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass.
What an amazing location to host this.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The crowd is absolutely amazing. The vibes, immaculate.
I would say this though. I'd probably prefer sitting at the bar with a couple of cold beers than doing this. But
Oh,
I
I'm
like this.
So sorry you have to
No,
hang out with me for a couple hours.
Okay. Let's talk hockey. Can we talk hockey yet? Is it that time?
You want to talk a little
You know, it's
ASU
going to
women's
get harder.
hockey?
Yeah, it's going to get harder when we get like every name I've ever heard of that plays football, I've already heard. So from here on out, it's flipping pages because I have no idea.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
At the podium, Jesse.
All right. With the 8th pick in the 5th round, Waffle House Wagon selects DJ Metcalf.
DK. It's okay.
Yeah,
He
it's
said
another.
DJ. We've all been there. We've all been there.
That's okay. Seattle Seahawk wide receiver DK Metcalf. You know what? I think this is a good quality pick again.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just because I'm still learning the PHNX crew.
Yes.
What's Jesse's beat?
Jesse's in the baseball side of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Does
I
that
can
explain
tell.
things? Yeah.
Yeah. That says a lot, actually. I love it.
All right. With the 9th pick in the 5th round of the fantasy draft, Enzo Amore selects Tank Dell, wide receiver, Houston.
Oh, boy.
I just don't. I'm not seeing back-to-back right now. Are you seeing back-to-back?
Let's check out Tank Dell. Do I like him? Speaking of small guys, 5'8",
Another Houston pick,
165.
5'8".
Jeez, little squirt. Didn't play a snap in 12 or 21 personnel with the starters in either of the Texans' first 2 preseason games.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting little tidbit.
Hello.
Hi.
With the 10th pick in the 5th round of the 2024 fantasy draft, I'm taking Malik Neighbors.
You should.
The Giants, though. I just again, I don't like the football club, the New York Giant Football Club. So
You just don't. Is it
I don't.
because
I don't
it's
think,
kind of a hockey
I'm
game?
not sure. Again, we talk about if you're going to play in fantasy football, you got to score points. I'm not sure if the Giants can do that. Here comes Espo.
With the 11th pick in the 5th round, hold this line selects Devonta Smith.
Again, another wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles. How many balls are they going to get in Philadelphia? Like that's a lot of receivers.
I think they're going to have
Good
2 quarterbacks and 6 wide receivers on the field.
It's just amazing.
What's happening?
I don't know.
That's what he thinks.
I think everybody's looking for the Philadelphia Eagles to rebound from a season ago and put up the kind of numbers that we know Jalen Hurts can put up. But that's got to distribute the ball a lot.
But he's capable of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely can. And this is a team that likes to air the ball out. But Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts also likes to tuck the ball and run. So I'll be curious to see if he can distribute it as much as these guys need him to. And here's Kevin with 2 consecutive picks.
All right, we're getting a little weird, a little wild.
Okay.
You know what else is wild? A tiger. Go Burrow. Joe Burrow. Welcome to the squad.
There it is.
Yeah, waiting for another quarterback.
I love Joe Burrow.
And then, Max, go ahead and make that pick for me.
Did you say Rashid Rice? Kevin!
Did you say Rashid Rice?
Okay. Rashid Rice. There it is.
Well,
Joe
the quarterback
Burrow
pick
and
with
Rice.
Joe Burrow, another guy, has had some success. I think they're looking for this offense to pick it up this season. Here goes Espo again.
I'd also like to say a shout out to Johnny's son. Thank you for watching at home.
Yes.
And I'm going to select DeAndre Swift, running back from the Chicago Bears.
We've already talked about my anger for the Bears, so I don't care. DeAndre Swift. Can this team improve on last season? Can the Bears be better than they were a year ago?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know their room for growth.
What do you think of
necessarily.
DeAndre Swift?
I think he has potential. I think he has some potential. He just had fewer rushing attempts, really, the past couple years than he did, 2021, 2022? So I don't know if I love that pick for him. I don't know if he's going to have as many fantasy points. According to this, it looks like he's projected with 193, but I think it's actually kind of a stretch.
Here's the Defen lock back up again.
Oh, God.
Tons of confidence.
I don't know what to do. T. Higgins.
T. Higgins from Cincinnati. I worry about Shane's indecision when he gets up to the podium.
I wonder what's on the line. And it's just Waffle House, technically, which Waffle House isn't that bad.
No, I don't want to spend 24 hours there.
I would eat my way.
The problem with T. Higgins, though, you've got to get the ball from Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be the second option for Joe Burrow, and with T. Higgins, he's still going to get the ball, but Jamar Chase is getting most of those touches.
Facts. Absolute facts. But that's kind of what we're starting to expect here, right? As we're here in the 6th round.
Yeah,
we're
I guess.
really looking at these guys.
It's getting deep. You're right.
It's deep. We're looking at your second.
Here's the defending champion.
With the 4th pick in the 6th round, Enzo Amore selects Ramondre Stevenson.
Speechless.
Let's take a look at his team so far. Brown, Williams, Kelsey, Jackson, Dell, Stevens. How would you rate that squad so far?
Yeah, I don't see a return to the championship in his future right now.
So there's a chance he might lose. There's a chance he might lose his position as mayor and
his position to mayor
give up.
And a banner.
Give up.
Anger is starting to float in the room a little bit. Here's Jesse back.
We ready? All right, with the 5th pick in the 6th round, Waffle House Wagon selects Amari Cooper.
I like. I'm actually surprised that he's still on the board. I like it.
Cleveland Browns, bad uniforms though.
Right?
I might not pick a Brown just because of their uniforms.
That's
that's quality analysis from a hockey guy.
You
right
want to know what I think I just realized?
Yeah.
And this is coming from, I will tell you my epiphany
Okay.
after the next pick.
This is the pick that's going to win me the 2024 PHNX Fantasy Draft. Scary Terry.
Meaning?
Does anybody know what that means?
Oh, Terry McLaurin.
Got it.
Duh.
Washington.
Okay, but so here, oh, look, he's coming back up to the podium. I like how fast this is moving. However, I have a
Can
thought.
Jaden Daniels get him the ball?
Next up for Daddy, George Pickens.
So here's my current thought.
Yes.
And this is, again, coming from a bias of I hosted the pre and post game show for DNVR last year.
Yeah.
Not a single Bronco has been drafted.
Wow. There's
Saul?
Taken because they're terrible.
I know.
Zero talent on that squad.
I get it, but I just, no Bo Nix. Nobody wants Bo Nix? Okay.
But I have somebody with talent. Roma Dunze.
I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I mean, there's a little talent. There's some hype around Bo Nix right now. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't take him anywhere in the near future.
No, but somebody's got to pick him up, don't
That'd
they?
be kind of fun, right? Or Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams as a running back. I think he'd be great. It's kind of a sleeper. He's going to be late. I think somebody takes him late. Shocker for me, the Tim Patrick release. Shocked. That's a guy you
That's your
wouldn't know.
team.
That's a guy you wouldn't know.
That's your team.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
was
your
my team. You know, I'm an Arizona girl now.
I'm just trying to look at Romeo Dunze's numbers.
He doesn't even have a photo.
Saul, he doesn't even have his picture
He doesn't have
in
a
the draft
headshot.
guide. No headshot. That's
Doesn't have a
concerning.
headshot.
No headshot.
That is when you know.
22-year-old
Saul's
rookie.
team. I would love to check out the comments. What do you guys think about Saul's team so far? Comment.
I really don't like where I am right now. I don't love how the board has fallen to me. So this pick is pretty apprehensive. I'm going with Jaden Reed.
Green Bay. Charted number 100 on our board right now.
Yeah.
Got a 2-receiver set in Green Bay to second year. I'm not sure he's going to get the ball.
Next pick already is in.
With the next pick, the Alaska Bullworms select David Montgomery.
And we now
Detroit
now have
Lions
Max.
Detroit Lions. He's an every down back
Now
in
Max
Chicago,
on the
but
clock.
he's not going to
Oh,
get the
here we go.
touches he had in Chicago when he's moving to Detroit.
Max.
With the 11th pick in the 6th round, Bo trying to hijack my pick. He will not be able to get Najee Harris.
I like it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh running back. I like the pick too. Can you hear him?
Former Arizona Cardinals great Christian Kirk.
Hot mic.
And we're going to come back and we're going to take Broncos running back Javonte Williams.
There
There
we
you
go.
There's your Bronco.
See?
First Bronco off the board.
I just needed somebody.
I know, now you feel good about
Can
it.
we get our mics? What? Oh, you said call me a Broncos fangirl? What did you say? Are you talking? You want to talk? You want to talk? Talk. Get hit. Brock Bowers.
Is that
I
who
gotta
you
go
took?
back.
He took
Our
Brock
mics
Bowers?
are on, I don't think.
Brock Bowers.
Can we get our mics, my friend? Are we on? Oh. I don't hear him anymore.
Oh, you don't? I
Do you
hear
hear
you.
you?
I do hear you.
Oh.
I hear you. You don't hear me?
No.
Uh-oh.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Well, I'm usually talking.
The Bullworms select Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Kansas City wide receiver. Again, it's
Eric, could you decipher?
we got to decide if the Kansas City Chiefs throwing the ball like they did this season before. Because with Pacheco, they ran the ball so much, but can Xavier Worthy get touches there? Is Kelsey going to be the guy that he has been in Kansas City for so many years?
PD, I can't hear you.
Can't you?
No. Oh, now I got it. We're in.
Are you in? Oh, nice.
And the pick is in.
With my, what is this, 7th round pick?
Yep.
I'm going to take Raheem Mostert, Miami Dolphins.
I like it. I'd also like to give Eric a shout out for fixing my headset.
Trying my best over here. Trying my best.
Saul makes quick decisions.
Saul's ready.
Questionable, but quick.
With my next pick, I will take Evan Ingram.
One of the slightly less questionable picks that he's made tonight, I think. I like the Connor pick for him, actually. And, he doesn't actually have CeeDee Lamb. That
That's
keeps
right.
confusing me. He has Robinson. Robinson I actually love, too. So, both work.
Oh, that's... Here goes Johnny.
A lot of gross options on the board right now. With my next pick here in our draft, I'm going to go super gross and go Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. You know, I really want to start bringing in the chat room.
But brilliant. Because I'm running out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Tennessee's 27-year-old running back. I got nothing.
Yeah, I think the chat's going to help.
Yeah, the chat can help.
Keenan Allen next. Off the board. We love to see it.
32 years old. He's the third oldest wide receiver on an NFL roster right now with Keenan Allen. Aging veteran comes flashing across the screen when you bring up Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Poetry here.
Alrighty, next pick for me is Jake Ferguson, tight end from the Dallas Cowboys.
What I love about this fantasy football draft, the fact that everyone from every beat is participating, and you can really tell who the football guys are.
Yeah.
And the non-football guys. You know what?
Next pick, I'd like to invite my friend Chris in Phoenix up here for all the complimentary things he said in regards to my outfit tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
This is who we're going with.
Okay. I can't pick a Raider. I'm a Bronco fan.
You have to. That's why. I'm even mean when I do this. Go ahead.
Okay. Zamir White from the Raiders.
There we go. Zamir White. Thank you, sir.
You know, I respect that. I respect the Broncos fan in a Cards shirt. That guy is like,
It could be his breakout season. 24-year-old. Expect big things from Zamir White for the Las Vegas Raiders. This could be his breakout season, as we're expecting big things. So maybe a good pick. We'll see.
The fan is my
yeah.
Just.
They tell you not to draft with your heart, and the chat's going to crucify me for this.
Okay, chat.
I saw this man's knee explode live in person in Pittsburgh, and I'm taking Nick Chubb. I'm waiting 4 weeks. I will wait for you, Nick! I will wait for you!
That's loyalty. That is loyalty to
the
a
biggest
player.
problem with Nick Chubb, and he just brought it up, the 28-year-old's history of injuries. And can
Scary.
Nick Chubb stay healthy this season? Oh, he's had 2 off-season injuries, tore both his MCL and his ACL. It takes about a year for those to get back. And I don't know, can Chubb get back to his normal?
I think he can, but like he said, he's going to have to wait 4 weeks to see.
With the 11th pick in the 7th round, Hold This Line selects wide receiver Chris Goodwin. It's the 7th round.
You know you're bad when there's no analysis on the internet of a player.
I don't think Chris Goodwin's bad.
Godwin. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay wide receiver.
I just think the analysis is coming soon.
That's what it says. They just haven't got that far yet. Let's go, Kevin.
All right, with the next pick in this draft, I'm going to take Devin Singletary. And now with the next pick in this draft, give me the rookie. I'm a rookie in this league. Give me Caleb Williams. We're going to tear it up together first year. Let's do this.
I like it. I like somebody who can match their brand with another brand.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Big Kev just did.
I like the Williams pick. I think that's exciting. I think it's a rookie ready, though.
No, probably not. But I think it makes it exciting when you're setting your roster every week.
22 years old, trying to play in the National Football League.
It's
in a place plays outside, you're going to have a tough time in Chicago. We'll see.
It's interesting on a week-by-week basis, picking between Joe Burrow and Caleb Williams. That's going to be fun for him.
Yep.
I like that.
Early for a backup quarterback.
All right, I'm going to be that guy. I'm taking kicker Justin Tucker.
Somebody had to do it.
Wow.
Somebody had to do it.
The first kicker off the board. Kicker 1, Justin Tucker, 34-year-old for the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, but consistent. Consistent as they come. That guy's going to rack up 150 fantasy points for Espo this year. Wow. I love it.
With the 3rd pick in the 8th round, I'm drafting Dak Prescott.
Wow. See, this is that. We talk about those tiers of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Prescott can have a big year this year. And I think this is when we talk about quarterbacks going late. You can still pick up a quarterback that I think is a second-tier guy this late in the draft.
With the 4th pick in the 8th round, Enzo Namore selects Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Tennessee.
I like it. I think that's a good get late. Mid. We're mid-draft. We're about halfway. About halfway, according to Eric.
We're about halfway there.
Speaking of being halfway there, as we wait for our friend Jesse to come up to the podium, I think it's Jesse's turn. Again, just so you guys remember that tonight, this entire event is brought to you by CoachStarkHomes. He is our presenting sponsor, like you all know, and you know that if you are in the market for a home,
Yes.
this is he's your go-to guy.
Yeah,
He's going to help you out.
The rumor is interest rates are coming down.
I
There
know.
are plenty of people that want to buy homes here in the lovely Arizona Valley.
The timing probably actually couldn't be better. 623-695-3929, CoachStarkHomes.com, at CoachStarkHomes, my favorite way is slide in those DMs. Jesse, on the mic.
My next pick, you can see it, is Jordan Addison.
Eric stole his thunder on that one. Did you steal his thunder a little bit?
No, he just had to go because he was on the timer. So
Oh,
he just
okay.
had to go.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Sometimes we get a little chatty.
If I stole
Sorry,
his thunder,
Jesse.
it's okay.
It was
It's just
us.
Jesse.
I had to talk about Coach Stark.
We're taking tight end Dalton Schultz.
Houston. 5 touchdowns a season ago.
Okay, I'm coming back to the chat.
Yeah.
I'm coming
Go back
back to the chat. Guys, get in here. Everybody's going kind of pick by pick basis. I want overall assessments in the chat of
Yeah.
teams so far.
Yeah.
I want to know.
At the midpoint.
I already said at the midpoint. Like what's going on with Saul?
Daddy Fantasy selects Jackson Smith in Jigba.
Okay. So if you're chiming in on the chat at home, I want to know your favorite lineup so far. And according to Jackal, it's not Shane's team at all.
Wow.
At all.
That's aggressive.
We're taking Jordan Love.
Oh, somebody had to do it.
J-Love. Again.
Green Bay, though. I struggle with Green Bay.
Again, Saul. This is
Yeah.
why. I mean, he's assuming that Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. That's what that is.
But Aaron Rodgers plays for the New York Jets, though, right?
What did I just say?
You said.
Oh, we're talking Green Bay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know your. See, I don't know football, but that's.
That
a
was
tell.
bad.
Yeah, I know.
That was bad. We don't like that one for me.
That's okay.
A very, very old man, Austin Eckler.
Wow.
Oh.
One of the top picks for Derek, the champion. One of Derek's top picks a season ago.
That was one of the dumber things I've said in a minute.
That's okay.
Like,
Just go
like
move
that,
on.
You're the hockey guy.
I
Like,
know.
you should have said that.
Yeah, and I would have.
The Alaska Bullworms select Christian Watson.
Okay, Christian. Dead. Yes, SD games. I am dead. Anybody else want to chime in? Damon's team has been
North
disappointing.
Dakota State
according
pick.
to those digested steak.
North Dakota State Bison. So I like that. You know where he was born? Anyone?
me.
Phoenix, Arizona.
You should have known.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Should have known.
Yeah.
With the 11th pick in the 8th round, Sack Lunch selects Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy.
Wow.
I like Mr. Irrelevant relevant.
Yeah, I took the NFL by storm.
Storm.
Iowa State Cyclone. I like the pick.
To it, and if you any children are watching, I'd like you to maybe do some earmuffs because I love you, Pookie. Hawk Tua. Tua is now a member of the of my team.
Hawk.
Tua Tagliavola. I can't even pronounce the name.
That is bold. Go ahead, Bo.
It's in this. We're discussing it, probably. We're gonna take. What's up, dude? Take Zach Moss.
Zach Moss. It's Tagovailoa. It's kind of a.
It's hard to say.
It's not easy, but
So
it's
we'll
like
just
think of
get
the
Tua.
tongue like Tagovailoa.
There you go. I will say in a recent poll, other NFL players said he is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
He's been hurt a lot. Do you mean concussions that guy's had?
All right, we're going to take the guy with the best press conferences so far of the rookies, Keon Coleman.
Oh, he's great. Dynamic personality. If there's a personality hire, it's him.
That's him?
Yeah. I'm a personality hire, as you can tell. Him and I are the same person.
The Alaska Bullworms will select Jalen Warren.
Who?
I
Are you just on Google now?
I know. I have to go to Google because none of these people are even showing up.
We're late in it.
This is another thing you don't know about me. It's after 8:30.
Are you
and
tired?
at PHNX, well, buddy.
Buddy.
Like at 8:30, it's lights out.
I can't believe you just
This is it.
buddied me.
Yeah, I did buddy you.
With my 9th round pick, I decided that I will be fading Johnny Venerable and his earlier pick of Tony Pollard with Tajay Spears, the real RB1 of the Tennessee Titans.
As long as it wasn't Bud.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you could buddy, but Bud's
Buddy.
bad.
Bud's bad?
Bud. Like, hey, Bud.
Hey, but no, I wouldn't
No,
do that.
you would never. You would never do such a thing.
He's a sleeper.
I think the mic's just.
Although he has a trash quarterback, I'm going to have to go with Deontay Johnson.
You can do whatever you want, Saul. You're still going to be at Waffle House next year.
But again, we're getting deep into the receivers for the 49ers.
I feel like we're just going to leave the mic open at this point. I
Yeah.
think these decisions
They're
should
coming
come
so fast.
pretty fast.
Yep.
Like,
Ninth round, 6th pick. Daddy Fantasy selects Brian Thomas Jr.
I say that for everyone.
Nice pick, Jacksonville. So, you went with a rookie, and I think this is your chance to take chances on rookies. We'll see. Brian Thomas Jr., 6'3" speedster.
See for LSU. Or was it?
He's got to lower it.
Lightning Lad McConkey.
Please keep in mind that height plays into things. So you can yell about not touching the mic, Eric.
Yeah, we're getting
But
to more
the man
rookies now. We
has
get
to be able
back-to-back
to
rookies. Ladd McConkey, another rookie at Georgia. We'll see. I mean, when you're picking rookies this late in the draft, you might have a great picker. You got a guy sitting on your bench every week.
Okay, the chat, I need you guys to get in on this a little bit. These guys have had some pretty, I think, decent fantasy football team names. I think there was room for improvement. I know TB12 not in the league anymore, but like Giselle's trainer could be a great fantasy football team name.
What is
for
it?
me?
What is
refrigerator? Giselle's trainer.
That's it. Giselle's trainer.
No,
That's
just
the name.
Giselle's trainer.
I'm gonna go with my lovely wife. Her team name was Sacks in the City. With Sacks, S-A-C-K-S. Sacks in the City.
Cute.
It was a good one.
Oh, Jones. Oh, he did it again.
Okay.
He took
Did he get it in? Oh, he did. Hollywood Brown.
Yeah,
I
I agree with Jonathan Cosman.
I think this is a good pickup late. I do. I think Jesse surprised me with a really good pick late in the draft.
I like Jonathan Cosman. People throwing darts now. It's facts. Mr. Mayor?
With the 9th pick in the 9th round, Enzo Amore selects the man who helped bring us a championship last year and will bring us another one this year, David Njoku.
Enzo Amore is goated. I agree. Is that the best one out of all these guys? I would say so. And it doesn't shock me that it's his team.
We're talking names again?
We're talking about names.
And we liked his name?
I just think that's a part. It plays into fantasy culture.
Yeah.
The name is important.
I do. I think it's very important.
What's your usual team name?
Derek, did you forget to make the selection? It says time's up.
TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, there we go.
See, we talked about the Viking getting off the board with TJ Hawkinson. I like this. The tight end's injured right now, but I think late in this season, I think Hawkinson, if not for his injury right now, he'd be a top-tier tight end. He'd be in that first pack.
He'd been top 8.
The run on tight ends continues as I take Dallas Goedert with the 11th pick of the 9th round.
Another Eagle. Again, I think they got to play with 4 footballs in Philadelphia for all these guys to get fantasy points.
Yeah. I love Espo's, just how formal he is when he steps up to the podium.
Here comes the kid.
All right, with the next pick, we're going to go Brian Robinson, many men. And then with the following pick after that, give me J-Mo, Jamison Williams.
Okay. Are you sipping some JMO right now? Okay. Good to know. Espo's back.
Espo's back. This is quick.
In a hurry.
With the second pick in the 10th round, I select Jonathan Brooks of the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers potential.
Yep.
I'm always.
Another
I
rookie.
just don't feel good about the Panthers.
No, another rookie. Just coming back from ACL.
Yeah.
To take an injury-riddled rookie.
The crowd's saying at least it's not a kicker.
Well, I'm with Bo's digested steak. I don't mind it. I think Justin Tucker's.
This is the worst draft I've ever had, and I don't think I'm ever going to have a draft as bad as it again. And we've seen some pretty bad picks, but I think mine have been the worst. And this one's just as bad. I'm going to take my homer instincts and take Tyler Lockett.
He's just such a Debbie Downer.
He's defeated. So he's a big Seattle guy.
Yeah.
So you talk about his hometown team. He went to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Another old wide receiver, Tyler Lockett, coming in 31 years old. I mean, maybe.
I wish him luck. Mr. Mayor? Oh.
Enzo Amore selects DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver.
Former Cardinal, and I guess maybe we're talking about another 32-year-old wide receiver, aging veteran. Does he still have some left in the tank?
My headset was off.
Oh, it was?
I'm back.
I hear you, though. I just don't think he's going to get a lot of touches. He's not going to be the first, second, or even third option. I don't know how many balls he's going to get in for the Titans of Tennessee.
Balls are important.
They are. I think he's going by the old DeAndre. I think that's what's happening.
We got Jesse.
Yep.
Oh, I love Jesse's picks.
Oh, wait, Jesse. Here he goes. If he gets it in on time.
Picks.
You just missed Rick Springfield here at the theater at the Wild Horse Pass.
I know. That's crazy.
All right, we good? So this is the 10th round, and I am selecting Chase Brown of the Cincinnati Bengals.
I like it. I really, you guys, is Jesse potentially the sleeper?
Wow.
Is Jesse potentially the sleeper this season? The whole table laughed out loud, so I'm assuming it's no. But I'm trying to figure out, are they biased?
Yeah.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins.
I feel like everybody's sleeping on Jesse.
Yeah.
They're just
Back-to-back
sleeping on
Chargers.
Jesse.
Daddy's back again, Cortland Sutton.
There we go. Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton.
Yep, you were waiting. That's another Bronco off the board for
There's only 2 now.
Colorado's own Alexis.
There's only 2 now.
Here.
The Marvelous Marvins are going with Cole Kmet.
With my 10th round pick, I will be going with my quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Always go with a mobile guy.
This could be a fantastic pick. Former ASU Sun Devil Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
He's a dual threat guy, can throw the deep ball, and the dude can run, or he might not. We'll see. It's a gutsy
Either-
pick.
Either or. Forks up. Forks up.
All right.
Saving the quarterback.
Get out the air fryers. We're going Pat Fryermuth.
Okay. Is anybody going to take a defense? I like this.
The tight
this
ends.
question.
Tight ends. A lot of tight ends going again right now. This late in the draft.
I couldn't hear that one, Eric.
Was it
fixing this because Max always breaks it?
Romeo and Dukes? Maybe, I don't know.
All right. Jeez. All right. It's tough. We should all be ashamed of ourselves because of our behavior today. We're going to go with... I think this is the right move. Khalil Shakur.
That's a good pick. That is a good pick.
We're going to wrap back around. What do we like? We'll take Jerome Ford, the starting running back for the Browns.
Okay. Yeah, Shakur, the wide receiver there for the Bills. I don't mind it. I like anybody that Josh Allen's a target.
All right, we're gonna fade Anthony Totri. Doesn't even know his own Chargers team. We're gonna go Gus Edwards.
Deep into the running back core now by the 11th round. He's rarely been a fantasy relevant running back. More games with single-digit carries than double-digit carries last season.
Interesting.
The Alaska Bullworms select Rashid Shaheed.
That's a great pick.
Wide receiver, New Orleans Saints.
With one of the weaker QB situations in the league, I decided to double down here, back-to-back rounds, and I will be going with the most underrated quarterback in the league. Shout out Anthony Totri, Justin Herbert.
Okay. The AFC West is always an interesting.
Yeah, I
It's
just,
tough.
again, if you picked him 2 years ago, I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. I think he'll have a great year, but. Hi, Saul.
All right, we're going with an Arizona Cardinal backup running back, Trey Benson.
I think right now you're looking at depth guys, get you through bye weeks. He's a 22-year-old rookie. He'll get his touches. Connor's going to get the majority, but you're going to see some Trey Benson.
Yeah.
Round 11, pick 6. Ezekiel Elliott goes to Daddy.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
29-year-old.
I think he'll still have a good year. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's just always fairly consistent. He's not going to be a guy that you start every week, but there'll be some games, some weeks. He'll win the matchup.
Give me another rookie wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell.
We will have to talk about the strategy of rookies. Like, I think you can have one, maybe two rookies on your roster, but we're seeing a lot of rookies going right now. I mean, hit or miss, I guess.
But I feel like they're scattered. Is there anybody
That's
that
fair.
has a lot
Well, he's
of
got
rookies?
two.
He has two?
Yeah.
All right, with the 8th pick in the 11th round, Waffle House Wagon selects Luke Musgrave.
Sounds like a country music artist.
Yeah, a tight end out of Green
Related
Bay.
to Casey Musgrave?
Yeah.
Kid, 23-year-old.
And he'll be He will be catching passes from one Jordan Love.
Yes,
and
yeah,
not
see what he did there?
Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah. Whoops,
Ooh.
Bart Starr. Could be worse.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. We'll always have that moment together, which I love.
But he missed the whole season with the Jets, too, though,
I just
so you can
forgot.
get it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You know, I missed the whole last season, too.
Yeah.
I get it. He was removed.
We're waiting for Derek. Does Derek know he's on the clock? Or is he at the bar right now? No, he's here.
Right?
Just making sure he's still in the house.
Is this the first time he's not bringing his drink with him to
Yeah, I know
the
he
podium?
is.
We take Blake Corum.
Okay.
Back to the Rams.
What I'm enjoying is
He's going to be a guy sitting on the bench, a rookie guy. Blake.
The spelling test that I've.
It's hard.
It's
It's hard.
fun.
That's fuzzy.
Charbonnet.
One more time?
One more time, Shane. Zach Charbonnet.
Sounds like an Italian.
At this point, it may be.
With the 11th pick in the 11th round, which, is a good number, I'm going to take Curtis Samuel of the Buffalo Bills.
Another wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Sleeper.
20, sleeper.
Sleeper
Sleeper.
pick.
And you know what? You're picking him up in this round. I think that's a good pick for Curtis Samuel. And you know you're going to get the offense from Josh Allen. I don't mind the pick. And you're talking this late in the draft, too. These guys are sitting on your bench, right?
None of these really matter. Question to the chat. Scale of 1 to 10, what do we think about Espo's team so far? I had him heading to Waffle House before the draft even started, so let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Kevin!
That is me. We're going to go Cade Otton.
Let's do it. And
then Totri has my next pick. He's going to populate it behind me because I forgot my next pick. I have back-to-back picks. We're going to go Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy. Ooh. Interesting. First year
Is he
in
still in the
Cleveland.
league?
First year in Cleveland. Interesting locker room guy for sure. Go ahead, Espo.
I did my own research on this pick, and I think it's going to be really good. I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Formerly of the Green Bay Packers.
Of the Green Bay Packers. Currently looking to play more than 4 snaps with with Nathaniel Hackett's New York Jets. Oofta.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, I like that. I like the Minnesota. I like it.
Yeah.
The little Minnesota oofta.
It's going to be an
That's what
interesting
I'm feeling
year.
right about now. Is it 9 yet? It's almost 9.
You sleepy?
Yeah, I am.
Somebody get this man a coffee.
Just because this team sucks and there's nobody else to throw to, give me Josh Palmer.
Should
another-
he just go to the Waffle House now?
Yeah, another 24-year-old wide receiver from the Chargers. A lot of Chargers going in this draft, and not many Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
This feels gross. It is gross. I don't like it, but I'm trying to win a second consecutive championship. So I take Harrison Butker, kicker from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Second kicker off the board.
We are waiting for kickers to go. They can make or break your club, the kicker. Surprisingly.
I think so.
And the problem with Harrison Butker is that this is a team that puts up so much offense, you're looking at more extra points than you are field goals. And that's a concern.
100%.
I mean, Harrison Butker's lights out.
Is there a better team in the red zone than the Kansas City Chiefs?
Right. So they're converting so much in the red zone. Is he going to get the opportunity to put up the numbers you need for that kicker to put you over the hump?
Yeah, consistent, but
And he just signed a big ticket, too.
I just don't know if the
It's hard to
opportunities
be
are there.
hungry when you're full.
Oh, I'm going to steal that one.
That's a good one.
We're good? All right. With the 5th pick in the 12th round, Waffle House Wagon selects Brandon Aubrey.
Another kicker. This is a good pick as a kicker.
I appreciate the diehards that are here.
Yeah.
They are still engaged.
Yeah.
Fully.
They're engaged with a kicker getting
I
picked
know.
in the 11th round.
I'm looking at you.
Give me Jared Goff.
We can do that.
Detroit Lions.
I
This is a team that many have going to the Super Bowl.
was going to say, I'm surprised that Goff was still on the board.
Yeah.
Hubbard, starting running back of the Carolina Panthers.
God, the Panthers. Woof.
But he's always
love the Goff.
He always says the starting of that position at that team. We're in the 11th round. There's no starters playing.
Well, if you're the starter, it's like being,
Yeah.
a small fish or a big fish in a small pond.
I will take Mike Williams, Jets.
I actually like this take from Mervin, who says whoever takes Prater will win the league.
Wow.
I don't think he's wrong.
Another kicker.
Hoping to start this run on defenses.
Here we go.
Let's go Dallas Cowboys defense.
Here we go.
Wow.
Finally.
It had to happen.
Somebody had to take it. Somebody had to take a defense. Who next? Shout out to everybody who's been hanging out in the chat. Seriously, you guys.
Big Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, I'm surprised he was still on the board.
There's a few guys left that I think will still be surprised, but
But I like the hockey hair. So I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence and the hockey hair. He's got the half mullet
salad.
going. Yeah.
yeah, the salad's important.
So that's important.
I like
That's an offense that throws the ball a lot.
I like Joe Burrow's kind of 90s
Do ya?
throwback blonde thing
Yeah, I
that's going on. You don't like it?
No, I don't.
What was the last thing you ever did with your hair?
Yeah, this is it. I would go mullet if I could. I just
What's
can't.
holding you back?
I'm in my mid-50s, and that's what's holding me back. It's called the receding hair. I can't do it.
I've seen the mullet wig.
Doesn't. Oh, yeah, I've done. Yep.
Any day now, Max.
Yeah, thank you. Sack lunch will take Gabe Davis.
Wide receiver, Jacksonville. Formerly
Okay.
with the Bills.
Okay, we have.
All right. We're going to go with the 49ers defense.
Interesting. So we've now gone 49ers. What about the Texans? What about
Baltimore Ravens?
the Ravens?
I like the Ravens, guys. I did.
Did
I
you
thought
like
about
it?
it?
You thought about it?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
But I couldn't get away from the allure of 1-1 on the defense. And then we're going to go with Michael Wilson, Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. You know, I appreciate that so much. You just sitting up there and answering my question. Like, why not?
Well, because I think if Bo wasn't picking in the draft, he would probably be sitting here and not us.
Oh,
So he would
100%.
have actual.
Maybe next year, what I'll do is I'll sit in for him there.
Yes.
And then he'll just text me his
We
picks.
couldn't do any worse.
We're going to go Ravens defense.
There it is.
There it was. There it was.
There it is.
The top-rated defense is finally
Ah.
off the board.
There it is.
The Baltimore
There,
Ravens.
there it is. Oh, what do you say? I'm sorry.
Who?
Texans defense.
Texans. See, we
Gotta run
already
on the
talked
defense, yeah.
the hometown Texans.
Yeah, he's a homer.
For the second time tonight, we will be fading Johnny Venerable and his running back picks. For the real RB1 of the Dallas Cowboys, Rico Dowdle.
Deep. Deep and bold.
Yeah, he's never going to play. I don't know. There's a pick.
I wish that we had like a sheet going where we could
Yeah.
just guess, like
Oh.
how many fantasy points.
Yes.
Rico
Dowdle.
is gonna have.
Do you know Rico Dowdle? The first time I ever heard the name was just now.
Saul?
All right, we're going to go with Jacoby Myers from Vegas.
Ooh.
Vegas sucks.
I know you do not like your Raider picks.
Yeah.
Raiders wide receiver. Aging guy again.
I try to be unbiased, but
I'm going to go ahead and select the Cleveland Browns defense.
all right.
I like that pick.
Yeah. I wonder. I'm gonna see what they're.
Give me Jets defense.
There, I like that pick better. It was a pick later, but I like the Jets pick over the Browns right now.
The Jets. What about the Eagles? Do we like the Eagles defense?
We don't.
Chat, chime in. And I'm just wondering, because I know they have some added talent to their secondary. I don't know if it's going to be big enough for them to get drafted here today, but we'll see.
All right, we are taking the Steelers defense with the 8th pick in the 13th round.
Mervin, Bo, shout out to you guys. No. They're just telling me I'm dumb. I was just wondering.
It's a good. Oh, that.
I was just wondering.
No, the defense.
Well,
pick.
just-
I
I
like
know
this
there's room
pick.
for growth. Go ahead.
We'll take the Buccaneers defense.
Don't
So,
love that.
so everybody in the chat is, see, Jonathan Cosman, I do for takeaways. I like their young budding secondary right now.
So
they have Christian Parker.
I'm just
great
telling you, in the
secondary
rankings that we were looking at, the Buccaneers defense has the 23rd ranked defense.
Shooter! Evan McPherson.
L. McPherson? Cover model?
Evan.
No? Oh, I thought we were talking Sports Illustrated cover model, L. McPherson. That one I could at least talk about.
Who
There's a kicker.
who should go on auto draft
There's a
right
kicker.
now?
Buddy, I've been there.
With the 11th pick in the 13th round, hold this line selects Xavier Legette.
Like polling the war room. Anybody feel is it Shane? You
Nope.
wants to go on auto draft.
All right, give me Younghoe Koo. Yeah. Next, we're going to go Chiefs D.
Chiefs D. I had to translate that. I thought I just said something in a different language. Chiefs D.
Yeah, it's top 10 defense, known for their offense, but top 10.
Dolphins. Hi, Espo.
Hello. With the 2nd pick in the 14th round, I'm going to select the Miami Dolphins defense.
Again, another safe pick, top 10 defense.
I'm gonna look something up. Is he still like? Oh no. He's with the Eagles.
Shout out Major Tutty, Commanders D.
Commanders always scare me too. Dumb team.
I'm going to say
I
this.
hate it.
They're the second to last defense in the rankings.
End zone Amore selects backup QB Kirk Cousins.
Former Minnesota Vikings should be there still. That's a whole nother story. I want to go back to Shane's pick of the Washington Commanders defense. And I just look, I know very little. Ranked 31 of 32 teams. Only the Arizona Cardinals coming into this draft had a worse rated defense
Yeah.
than the Washington Commanders.
You want to know how I know that you're a hockey guy?
How?
Defense.
Defense. Instead of defense, it's defense.
All right, with the 5th pick in the 14th round, we're taking Tyler Algier.
You know, we got a lot of people here with the chiming in on the correct pronunciation of last names.
Yeah,
It's just, who cares?
Dicker the kicker selects Cameron Dicker.
You had to. You had to.
Yeah, it has to be a part of his team.
If
It's
you
literally in
don't-
your team name.
If you don't.
He does like his Chargers and his home.
Shame.
He
I would
is a
shame
Charger.
bell him.
Yeah. And it is, yeah, shame. Well, I get the reference. I don't watch the show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shane Bell's iconic.
I understand.
Oh, thank you. It's crazy that you haven't watched it.
No.
You're the only
It has
person.
dragons in it. I'm not watching a show with dragons.
Oh, you got to get past the first few episodes.
Backup quarterback Matthew Stafford for daddy.
It's yeah, how he says for daddy.
I know.
It's just it's like deep in
Yeah.
his chest. There's mucus in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of
A little creepy.
It's nice, creepy but good.
We're going to go with the Lions defense.
Yeah, you are.
I'm taking defense again.
For my 14th pick, I'll be taking the best available player on the board, Jake Elliott, Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
He's still waiting on his. Oh, he did take the Cowboys defense. I was going to say he's waiting, holding out. Where is Kyle on the big board?
Give me Khalil Herbert.
Alexis, we're almost there. Like when you look at the big
Yeah,
board.
are you getting excited?
We are winding it down. I'm kind of getting excited.
Yeah, you want to know why I know you're excited?
Yeah.
Bedtime.
It is.
This
bedtime.
man has been thinking about his bed
Everybody
for the
knows.
last hour and a half.
Cannot wait.
Jake Moody.
Because I've got that 5 a.m. wake up call to walk the dog tomorrow. So
What would happen if you didn't
didn't walk the dog?
at 5 a.m.?
No, I will be.
It's
There's
too
no
hot to do
ifs.
it any
no ifs. I will
time
be
later.
I got back-to-back picks to round out my draft.
This
I
is
just
it.
want to say we all played hard tonight. Really appreciate the effort.
Let's go, Bo.
Shout out Johnny Venerable, my co-host. I couldn't have done it without you, buddy. We take, with our second to last pick, Dontavian Wicks from the Green Bay Packers. Hold your applause. I've got one more pick, guys. Calm down. We're going to fill out our roster with a kicker. We're going to take Kai Fairbath. What the hell's that guy's name?
I appreciate the honesty.
On second thought, he's fired. I can't pronounce his name. We're going to go with somebody easier. We're going to take Sanders out of Miami.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Anybody take Tucker yet?
Wicks,
The kicker?
Green Bay, wide receiver. Jordan.
Yeah, Tucker, the top-rated kicker, is still not taken.
No, Tucker's been taken.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me look. The board is colorful.
I know. There's a lot going on.
Before I pick, I do want to shout our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass. Give them a hand. Without them, this would not be possible. It's not too late. It's not too late. With my last pick, I will take Taysom Hill.
My brain just shut off. Who are we looking for?
Tyler Conklin.
Tucker.
I believe his name is Fairbairn.
Oh, the kicker from Houston, and he believes his name is Fairbairn. The kicker
Oh.
from Houston. Did he go with Tucker? I
You
don't
want
see
to know
him.
our problem? I think Tucker went like way early.
Way early?
Yeah, Espo took Justin Tucker in an early round.
Like
Oh,
super,
like the
super
earliest
early.
kicker.
Let me look at us.
Okay.
Oh yeah, see. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. 8th round. I don't know why I counted. It's literally in the top right corner.
This is it. Alexis, we are almost through the first televised fantasy.
With my pick, I'll be taking Demario Pop Douglas. I had him in my queue.
Kick his ass, Tyler Bass.
Yes. T-Bags. Yeah, I feel like the next person should
Yeah, we're rolling.
stand up.
Jason Myers.
For Daddy? For Daddy?
Yeah, I like you helping out a little bit there. That's
No?
good. No, it was good.
You forgot to say for
He
Daddy.
missed it. In his last pick, too, and he didn't.
Give me
do it.
Braylon Allen.
There are 5 picks left in this draft, Alexis. 5. Yeah,
What I would like to do.
Jesse. Oh, did we pick him to be the Waffle House guy this year? You picked
No,
Espo.
I picked Espo.
I picked Jesse.
And, yeah.
We good? All right, with the final pick, we're taking Ty Chandler in the 15th round.
I feel
Running back from Minnesota. Yeah, I don't feel good about my hometown Vikings this year. We're down to our final 4 picks, Alexis. This is
And,
it.
You know, I want to invite Derek up here after he makes his final pick.
Jalen Polk, wide receiver, New England.
I'm just counting it down. This is 3. There's no commentary. There's 3 picks
Yeah.
left in this
Well,
draft.
I was going to say
Shane,
Derek.
Espo, and Kevin will round out.
Derek is the defending champ. Maybe if he wanted to say a final few words here.
Somebody who's just been so bad.
You.
Averaging less than a yard to carry. I'm taking Damian Pierce.
You have been so bad all night. We still love you. And
Kicker.
Mackenzie.
I'm going to take a guy that helped get the best wide receiver in the draft. I'm taking Matt Prater.
Yes,
There we
there
go.
it is. Espo, you know what? He's not going to Waffle House. He is not going to Waffle House.
First of all,
has 2
I want to thank
kickers.
everybody for watching this with Mr. Irrelevant. I have a lot of power here. Give me Jaleel McLaughlin. last pick. That's how you
There
do it.
we go.
I'm wondering about Espo's strategy of 2 kickers in your roster.
The 2024 fantasy football draft is now officially closed. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, so. The commish, everybody. The commish. Just as we wrap things up, I want to just have a moment, just for the camera. Just throw the ring out there. He is the defending champ, Derek. He is going into this hoping to defend his title. Now that you look at your team for this upcoming season, what are your odds?
Oh, I'm excited. Last year I drafted Austin Eckler in the first round, so I mean this team looks even better than last year's, and I won last year, so I look forward to rolling over my opponents again this year.
You barely won last year.
You know what? You know what? Whether you win by 50, whether you win by 100, whether you win by half a point,
This is giving me whether it's an
you
inch
won.
or a mile.
You won the championship.
Yeah.
So
There was a little bit of a Fast and Furious quote there, which I appreciate. So now, as you obviously look at the rest of your competition, who would you say will be dining at Waffle House a year from now?
Oh, that's a great question. It's definitely Espo. He's not only my opposition in the Fantasy Football League, but of course, as you know, my opposition in the race for mayor. So I think Espo's not only going to be dining at Waffle House in regards to this Fantasy Football League, but in regards to his contention for my mayorship.
Last question for you. It's regarding Shane. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I don't know what happened
He's been
to him this
down
year.
and out all night.
He really fell apart
Any
tonight.
words of inspiration for him as he heads into this season
Here's-
with a really rough roster?
Here's what I'll say about Shane.
Here's what really happened. I made mistakes.
Yeah, you did.
And a real person can admit that. That being said, I'm not going to Waffle. I'm winning the championship. I'm taking that ring off your finger, and I'm gonna shove it in your face.
Yeah, that's
big
fair. That's
loser.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
big loser.
I'll say this: adjustments are made throughout the season. If there's anybody I believe in that's able to make those adjustments, it's
Yes.
Shane. I just question, his first round pick, right? Like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
As much as you want to go with your heart,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to go with the old noggin. And I will say that I think that Shane really derailed himself just from the first pick beyond. After that.
There's only so much.
Maybe though, but
maybe though.
gutsy
I derailed
picks,
myself
gutsy
last year.
picks.
I like it.
Right?
Gutsy picks.
Last year, Austin Eckler, he was a garbage pick,
Yeah.
and I overcame that in order to win this bad boy.
So
Yes, you did. We shall see. Any final thoughts before you take the headset off and head out for the night?
I'll say that this was a lovely event. Shout out once again to
Yes.
Gila River Resorts and Casinos for having us out, and I look forward to steamrolling every single one of these jabronis over the next 17 weeks?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Suddenly, I regret giving him the headset. All of a sudden.
It's probably a good.
Yes, I do. I also want to give a shout out to the commish.
That's
He
all
joins us. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Final thoughts.
Listen, I think the theme of the night was people just talking about avoiding Waffle House.
I agree.
And that's just loser mentality.
It is. We're not talking about winning a
I'm not afraid of
championship.
Waffle House. If I have to go back again, so be it. But we swung for the fences.
Yeah. It's about
and
winning.
We're trying to win a championship
Winning
again.
championships.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to win 2 in 3 years.
There aren't many people in this room that can say that.
No.
Is there a part of you that actually enjoyed it? Like just like a little, just smidgen?
I would say after Waffle 7, no.
No, okay,
Absolutely
but like 1 through 7, it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was
Okay, before I let you out of here, overall assessment of the draft, or who do you think, outside of yourself, could be in contention this year to take home the
Man, that's kind of tough. Damon's usually a tough one. I'll give it to Bo. I think Bo had a solid draft all the way around.
Yeah, that
Daddy
helps when you pick
Fantasy is
first.
probably the worst. Cooper's not so bad. Kyle's not so bad either. And then rounding out the bottom, I think the newcomer Kevin did all right too.
Kevin did all right. I have a bone to pick with Daddy Fantasy because all he had to do was the very last pick to say for Daddy, and he didn't do it.
Didn't.
So,
Every pick he did.
I know.
So I'm kind of, I don't know.
Middle of the road.
It's like he built this up and then he just
middle of the road.
let it go.
Yeah,
Middle of the road.
you know,
Too bad.
It happens.
You talked about swinging for the fences. He's safe. He's middle of the
You
road,
got to.
and that's where he'll
Yeah.
finish.
That's
Middle of the road.
That's probably right. If I had to guess if anybody was going to finish in dead last, it would probably either be Shane or Derek.
Shane should have auto.
I really hope Derek goes from first to worst.
Wow.
That'd be fantastic.
I can't.
Because you know what's not fair is in year 1, nobody had to go to Waffle House.
Oh, he's
because
mad.
well, I mean, to be
He's
fair,
mad. Shane just wants to go home.
to be fair,
Cameras off.
the person who finished last place, they weren't around, so it's all good. But it should have been Totri. I think Totri finished in last.
Totri,
hey,
do you remember where you finished?
But in all seriousness, thank you guys for everything.
thank
You guys
you.
did a fantastic job. I know it was a little difficult from time to time, but I think you guys killed it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
We're just lucky that we actually like each other.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
enjoy
well,
hanging
that's
out
good. That's good.
because about at what?
About right here.
About right there.
Right there is where it
Yeah.
gets.
starts
Yeah,
getting a
right
little
about there. About there
But
goes.
hey, now we know. For next year, now
Yeah,
we
a
know.
little more
and,
prep.
And
For
speaking of which, for next year, really looking forward to it. This is
Can't wait.
an amazing
Can't
event. Shout out to everybody who actually made it out here.
Yep. Big
Diehards.
round of applause for all the diehards that are here.
Thank you guys
Thanks.
for being here. That was awesome.
Thank you,
Making
guys.
this event so incredible. Saul the commish putting on an amazing event here tonight. For my co-host, Petey.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you
a lot,
so
guys.
much.
Great time.
You are
It's a great time. Thank you.
a five-tool player. You're a Swiss Army knife. Your abilities to come in here and talk ball.
Appreciate the kind words.
And I can't wait to do this with
Thanks.
you again.
You're a professional's professional, Alexis.
Get out of here. Get out of here. For all of you guys watching at home, thank you guys so much. Thanks for participating in the chat. We'll see you guys this week on your various
Yep. All over the
beats,
PHNX networks.
all over, and we'll see you guys there. Have a good one.
We all silly like the mayor.